Welcome back. As you know, I'm Eli, the computer guy, here for the Daily Blob, where we will remind you this is not a bubble. Artificial intelligence is not a bubble. This is all completely and utterly sane, not in any way, shape, or form driven by FOMO, by really rich people and politicians. What is going on with artificial intelligence right now is completely and utterly sane. Did I say that right? Are you not going to shoot me now? Okay, there we go. Holy crap. This just gets wackier and wackier. I'm literally doing 3 videos today, all talking about what's going on in the AI world. This video is going to be about how Apple wants to be the leader in the AI space, because apparently that makes sense. Anyways, then I'm going to be talking about how I think this year, between all these big tech companies, they're putting something like $155 billion into AI. Next year, they plan to have $400 billion in CapEx expenses for AI. And then we're going to do have a little conversation about one AI engineer getting a $250 million contract. Yeah, in no way, shape, or form does this look like a bubble. In no way, shape, or form am I, somebody who's been in this industry for 30 years, not thinking back to another period of time going, I think we've been there before. I don't know. This is all just getting so wacky. So anyways, this is coming from Bloomberg. Apple CEO Tim Cook tells staff AI is ours to grab in hour-long pep talk. So Tim Cook is coming out basically talking about how Apple has to lead the way with AI. Because AI, it's more dangerous than nuclear weapons. AI is going to change absolutely in everything out there. AI. So now Apple is saying that they have to be in the lead of AI. And I'll remind you when I talk about this, Meta says they have to be in the lead of AI. And OpenAI says they have to be in the lead of AI. And xAI says they have to be in the lead of AI. And Anthropic is actually putting out a pretty good product. I will say, as much snark as I put out there, I have heard great things about Claude Code. As long as you know what the hell you're doing, as long as you understand the difference between a testing environment and a production environment, Claude Code is apparently amazing. If you don't understand the difference between those two things, well, you're the idiot. It has nothing to do with Claude Code. Anyways, Anthropic is dropping along. All these companies, right, are trying to take over the AI world. And we just see more and more money getting dumped into this environment. And when I look at it as a technology professional, I see Claude Code. Again, gotta give Claude Code the plaudits that it should get. I use ChatGPT in order to make featured images. But yeah, the actual functionality seems to be a wee bit light. And I'll remind you, during the dot-com boom, we were informed, we were told back then, brick and mortar stores were dead. Everything was going to be online. And then 10, 15 years later, Amazon bought Whole Foods. Because, if brick and mortar stores are dead, it makes complete sense that a dot-com business would buy a brick and mortar, business system. Anyways, it's just getting stupid at this point. Apple Inc. Chief Executive Officer Tim Cook, holding a rare all-hands meeting following earnings results, rallied employees around the company's artificial intelligence prospects and an amazing pipeline of products. The executive gathered staff at Apple's on-campus auditorium Friday in Cupertino, California, telling them that the AI revolution is, quote, as big or bigger as the internet. One of the things I'll remind you, again, going back to that dot-com boom. Oh, really? Is it like the internet? Hey, Tim Cook, does this remind you of the internet revolution? I remember a couple of other time points in the history of the internet revolution you all seem to be skipping over. Remember that dot-com bust? Yeah. They seem to focus on the dot-com boom. They don't remember the dot-com bust. I remember the dot-com bust. I remember getting laid off of delivering pizzas in Seattle. I remember being a U.S. Army veteran, having a bachelor's degree, having my MCSE, Avaya training, Cisco training, all of that kind of stuff, and being laid off of pizza delivery because our industry had imploded. So anyways, I remember, Tim Cook might not remember, none of these jackasses may remember that, but I do remember that. So anyways, it's as big or bigger as the internet, smartphones, cloud computing, and apps. Quote, Apple must do this. Apple will do this. This is sort of ours to grab, Cook told employees. According to people aware of the meeting, quote, we will make the investment to do it. So he is coming out there and giving his full-throated support for Apple to take over the world of AI. Why? Why? Because everybody else is doing it. As I've discussed many times before, people think the world of technology is about visionaries and rebels and revolutionaries. No, it's not. It's about lemmings. It's about fucking lemmings that find a key component to modern society and then find a way to monopolize that key component of modern society, and then they just make billions and billions and billions of dollars of blood money out of it. That's what being in the modern world of the technology industry is about. And that's what we see here, right? Everybody's going after AI. As I talked about before, right? When COVID happened, everything's work from home, so they all hire tens of thousands of employees. They all say the office is dead. You're always going to work from home. Blase, 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 blah. And they all do because they're all fucking stupid. Well, they're all very smart lemmings. Anyways. Right? Then COVID is over, and Elon Musk fires 75% of his staff. And so you notice everybody else starts firing all their staff. Elon Musk says if you don't want to work, then you can just stop working for the company if you're not willing to come into the office. And then that's basically what every other tech company says. One of the things you'll notice with all these tech companies is they are in lockstep. This is the new thing because we have been informed. This is the new thing. Ergo, everybody has to do this thing. I use Apple products. I like Apple products. I have an iPhone, I have an Apple TV, I have this thing or whatever else. Why does Apple have to be the leader of AI? I don't know. Why can't I? I mean, right now I use ChatGPT. I use OpenAI system on this. I use Ollama on this. I can use other people's systems on this. Why do they have to own the AI stack that is on this particular hardware? Because remember, in their syphilitic minds, they have to own everything. If they don't own everything, they are a failure. Cook struck an optimistic tone, noting that Apple is typically late to promising new technologies. Quote, we've rarely been first, the executive told staffers. Quote, there was a PC before the Mac, there was a smartphone before the iPhone, there were many tablets before the iPad, there was an MP3 player before the iPod. But Apple invented the, quote, modern versions of those product categories, he said. This is how I feel about AI. I don't know about the PC. I mean, they did go with the smartphone, they did go with the iPod and the tablet. PC, that was more Microsoft crapping the bed on their operating system. I was a Microsoft fanboy all the way up until Windows 8. And then Windows 8 came out, that was a complete and utter disaster, and then Ballmer just said, stuff it. When Ballmer came out and basically said, I don't care whether or not you like this operating system, you will use it as a customer, that was when I walked away from Microsoft. But I don't really feel like that's Apple's win. That was just Microsoft's own stupidity there. But anyway, so this is where we see yet another technology company basically arguing that they have to win in this whole AI arms race. Oh, I'm sorry, there was actually some more to this. And it just gets to be, ridiculous at a certain point in time. Scroll down. In his speech, Cook also pushed employees to move more quickly to weave AI into their work and future products. Quote, all of us are using AI in a significant way already, and we must use it as a company as well, Cook said. To not do so would be to be left behind, and we can't do that. Employees should push to deploy AI tools faster and urge their managers and service and support teams to do the same, he said, right? AI, AI, AI. One of my questions here with this whole thing too, again, we start talking about AI, is automation AI? Is improved workflows AI? That type of thing. One of the things you'll notice with all of this is it's so hyper-focused on this concept of artificial intelligence. It's not at can we relook at our workflows to determine how we can make them more efficient? It is not how can we look at our communication systems and make sure they're doing the things that they're supposed to be doing, right? I look at modern communication systems with Slack and all these other types of things, and they blow my mind. I'm one of those people, I just don't understand Twitter. I've never understood Twitter, right? When Jack Dorsey was CEO of Twitter, I didn't grasp Twitter. Elon Musk became owner of Twitter. I understand it even less. But that whole text messaging thing, I don't know, it just kind of futzes with my brain. How many people are using the Slack How many people are using the Slack communication systems to the most effective degree, that type of deal? And I think that's the interesting thing that we're seeing here with all of these companies, whether it's Apple or Microsoft, we talked about that before, where they're just trying to shove AI down everybody's throats. They're not saying, how can we be more efficient? They're not saying, how can we be more effective? They're not saying, what tools can we use to improve the quality of our products or improve the happiness of our customers that we're delivering our products to, right? Those are questions. No, what they're saying is we have to use artificial intelligence. And now just think about that for a second. Do those two things necessarily mesh? Does artificial intelligence necessarily create a better outcome? I've seen this with a lot of this AI garbage that's been shoved into products. I use Wix. I use Wix as the platform for silicondojo.com, and how they shove AI into that platform is just a shit show, right? If you work for Wix, stop. Your AI deployment is fucking garbage. It's Clippy version 2025. And I feel like that's what we're getting so much out of these companies is we're getting these AI products that are there so that they can say they have AI products, not necessarily things that are making our lives better at the end of the day. And so that's one of those things to kind of ponder and think about, especially if you're a young technology professional right now. Again, if you're 18 or 19 or whatever, getting in this field, really ask yourself, where do you think this whole AI thing is going to be going in another couple of years? Do you really honestly believe it's this massive game changer that they're trying to sell us on? Or basically, is it the next bubble that we've seen countless times in the past? And then the thing to be thinking about there is where can you situate yourself to actually create a real value proposition? Would be my thought to be thinking about. So anyways, what do you think about this with Tim Cook coming out and saying that Apple must win the AI race? I don't know, for some reason. Why? Who knows? Who knows? Apparently they do, though. What do you think about this hyper focus on AI with very little focus on actually solving problems, right? You must use AI. But what if I can solve problems fine, like with something that doesn't use AI? You must use it, right? What do you think about that kind of thing? What do you think about just this entire idiocy around artificial intelligence right now? I don't know. Put your thoughts down below. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs down. Give us an amazing comment. Give us a horrible comment. Remember, at the end of the day, YouTube only cares about the interactions. silicondojo.com. We are currently doing fireside chats. We are having the CTO and co-founder of an integrations company come on for a fireside chat next week, or maybe it's this week. I don't know, soon. He is going to be talking about how they try to integrate artificial intelligence into their systems and how well that did or did not work out. So that's coming up. And then we're having the VP for AI models over at IBM. He will be on in about another week and a half. So you can go to silicondojo.com. You can become a member of silicondojo.com, and you can RSVP for those Zoom sessions. You can come on the Zoom session. You can ask questions and that type of thing. That's all I got. So I'll see you all later.